Ugh.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Thursday, November 16th, 2017. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm technical difficulties.
And you're really loud.
What did I tell you?
Ah, God. I got home with 5 minutes to get ready for the show, so nothing is in order.
See, I had the opposite. I got home a bus ride early, so I got 15 minutes early because I got let off 15 minutes early because we had the slowest fucking day this year.
And because of that stupid shit trying to get YouTube to go, I don't have the link to the goddamn Facebook.
Get wrecked.
It's really fucking annoying.
Oh, I bet.
Like, really annoying. And because I have this window minimized, I can't even get to the video.
Oh, no.
I'm so fucking irritated right now. Please remember, everyone, that you can support this garbage-ass show that's failing its ass off at this very moment by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live on Facebook and YouTube when it wants to friggin' work. Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time on YouTube and Facebook. And if you got stories that you want us to talk about, if we ever get to the point where we can, you can submit them to our subreddit, which is our iReddit cast, or you can, of course, send them to us in an email, which is feedback.ireddit@gmail.com. Can you tell that I am disheveled right now?
Disheveled?
Yes.
I thought it was disheveled.
Whatever. Don't care.
No one knows because you're disheveled.
I got the video open, but it's open in a really strange way where I can't comment. I don't understand.
Get fucking destroyed, kid.
I am, okay? Just leave me alone for a minute.
No! Everyone, point at your screen on Michael's side and laugh.
Yeah, just go for it.
Ha!
So, Nathan, how was your day today?
It was fucking dead. Like, there was no one around. It was awesome. We got so much done. We opened like 75 back cases.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good because people will mail in like civil cases and small claims all the time, and we just don't have enough time to get around to opening them. And we opened 75 of them. It's a lot.
Ugh.
In addition, I met a quadriplegic guy who fell off a building.
Yeah?
I felt really bad for him because he had a bench warrant.
Oh.
So we set him up with a walkthrough, and, well, I had to write out his entire paper because he couldn't, so we had to write on the side that he was a quadriplegic, and I had to, so he could raise his arms slightly up, but he couldn't move his hand, so he would push his hand against his cheek to close his fingers enough to hold the pen, barely, and then I gripped his hand, and we both wrote an X together.
Sure.
And then I called for quick rides, and he had to wait for 2.5 hours.
Ew.
So it's not very quick rides, you know what I'm saying?
You want to know what confuses me anymore? So we had that false start a moment ago, and normally when we have those false starts, I just delete it, but I can't delete it for some reason.
Get destroyed.
Yeah.
That's just us today. Well, at least for the show.
So sad. Just sad. Like, I was like, yeah, I got everything ready just in time, and then none of it worked.
Yeah. I mean, we have our day. We fucking do it 4 nights a week. Like, we're gonna have our bad days.
Yeah, I know. Just, it's different if it's like an unexciting show. Like, because we do have those. We have shows where I'm just like, that show wasn't really all there. We weren't really all the way into it, etc. And then there's shows where it's just like everything just didn't work. Just didn't work.
Yeah. Again, we have those days.
Yep. Sure do. Are we at least live on to friggin' YouTube? Is it working over there? It appears
I wasn't even on YouTube. Let me check.
I am, don't worry. It appears to be working. Everything's on fire. and it appears to be working.
That shit's lit, son.
Oh God, don't say that. I don't. That's too positive of a statement.
Motherfucker, lit.
Damn it! And I realize now that because I was having all that, I was like, I didn't get the iPad set up. Don't worry, I'll get it set up while we're doing the intro. Until the intro set itself on fire.
Yeah.
So I can't even hit the button now.
Kind of hard to do that, you know.
Yep. I was like, I'm gonna hit the button to go into the thing, and all the 10. Pixar's Coco becomes Mexico's highest-grossing film ever.
This is submitted by Yam12 to our movies.
It is not even out here yet.
I know. I'm so upset. I really want to see it. I haven't seen a lot of I don't know if that's a Pixar movie actually. I haven't seen a lot of animated films I want to, like Kubo.
Kubo's
really just Kubo.
Good.
The other ones I have seen.
Kubo's
I
really
haven't
good.
I haven't seen the Hawaiian one. The name escapes me. Oh my god.
Moana.
The one with
Moana?
Yeah, Moana. Yeah, I haven't seen that one either, and I really want to. Correction, I've seen like 20 minutes of it when I was at a house party for the employees of the Boys and Girls Club, and one of their kids were watching it in the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good from the little bit that I've seen.
Well, Coco is Pixar's latest critically acclaimed animated feature. It released first in Mexico, and that is because the entire film is based around Dia de Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead. And they wanted to release it there on time to actually, hit that.
Coincide with that?
Yeah. I mean, because it's not out here yet, and Dia de Muertos was about 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make sure that they got that in there on time. But it has already, in that time, become Mexico's highest-grossing film ever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, in that 2 weeks' time, it has made 824 million pesos, which is around 43.1 million U.S. dollars, and is expected to pass and will pass the 827 million record set by the Avengers 5 years ago.
Huh. That's cool. I really like that. It makes me wonder, what the highest-grossing movies are around the world, and what just around the world has a taste for.
I mean, I can just look up highest.
I really like foreign films, so I guess it's in the kind of the same vein.
This is adjusted for inflation, so keep that in mind. Number 10 is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Back in 1937, it made 184 million, and so that adjusted to today is 909 million.
Nice.
The Exorcist, back in 1973, made 232 million. Adjusted to today, that's 922 million.
Dude, The Exorcist is a great fucking movie.
Dr. Zhivago in 1965, it made 111 million. Today, that is $1 billion. Jaws in 1975 brought in 260 million. Today, that is 1.06 billion. The Ten Commandments from 1956 made 65 billion. Adjusted to today, that is 1.09 billion.
I'm honestly surprised how many horror films are up here.
Titanic made 658 million back in 1997. Today, that would be equivalent to 1.12 billion.
If you're afraid of sinking in a ship or Commitment, that's a good movie, horror movie.
E.T. Made 435 million back in 1982. Today, that is 1.18 billion. The Sound of Music is number 3. In 1965, it made 158 million. Today, that is 1.187 billion.
Did you know that E.T. is confirmed to be in the Star Wars universe?
Nice. Where am I? Number 2 is the first Star Wars from 1977, A New Hope.
Speaking of.
It brought in 460 million, which today is 1.485 billion.
Which is hilarious because it did exactly what it was designed to do. Star Wars wasn't a fucking love project. It wasn't a passion project. It was a project made by George Lucas to try and get as much money as possible by ripping off of almost every popular science fiction thing at the time. Dune, Flash Gordon, etc.
And number 1 is Gone with the Wind. Back in 1933, it brought in $198 million, which adjusted to today is $1.685 billion.
God damn. That's a lot. God damn.
This is from September of last year is when this article is written, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I like that. I was talking with Michael, and he had an idea for a podcast where he takes the movies that are the highest rated movies, like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and everything, and he wants to review them and see how well they withstand the test of time. And he had a fucking great name for it. I don't remember the name.
Now, that's highest grossing. Real quick, the box office winners of all time, which is different because that gross is actually money they made, not just the entire amount. Because that is there's a difference there. I'm just going to give you these read down from top to bottom. We got Avatar with $2.7 billion, Titanic $2.2 billion, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens $2 billion, Jurassic World $1.6, Avengers $1.5, Furious 7 $1.5, Avengers Age of Ultron $1.4, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 $1.3, Frozen $1.2, and Beauty and the Beast, the new one, at $1.2.
That's what's up. I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast yet, but I heard it is amazing.
I have seen the end of it.
That nice?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Anyway, we're gonna keep on rolling on the movie train because, yeah.
Because movies are fucking good.
Yeah.
Because you know what else? Fucking Justice League comes out tonight.
Are you gonna? Are you gonna?
No, I'm not gonna go see it tonight. I'm probably gonna go see it sometime this weekend. But not only that, but fucking tomorrow, the 17th. Not only is The Punisher being released, but goddamn Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is coming out.
And even more than that,
9.
Fantastic Beasts sequel to be titled Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
This was submitted by Dapper Walkie to our movies.
Real quick, Chadwick says whatever, Avatar was a ripoff of Ferngully and Dinotopia. That story, that concept has been repeated dozens of times.
It's also ripped off Pocahontas,
Dances with Wolves.
Gone with the Wind.
Like, there's so many stories that are that story. But it's a great story, and that's why people keep remaking it in different ways.
It's an alright story. I enjoy it. God damn! None of these showed up earlier. What the fuck?
What, comments?
All of the comments.
I'm sorry?
Oh, what the hell? Akira Kurosawa.
In any case, so the next movie in the Harry Potter is coming out. Well, not coming out. It's been named. That's it. Who's Grindelwald? Is that fucking Johnny Depp's character?
Who's Grindelwald? Grindelwald is fucking, like, he's Wizard Hitler.
Oh, really? That's... okay.
He was Voldemort before Voldemort. Like, he wanted pretty much the same thing, and then Voldemort went and killed him.
There's always a bad guy.
It kind of reminds me of the mechanics between Sauron and Morgoth, except Sauron was a direct underling to Morgoth, and Voldemort he barely knew about Grindelwald, and he knew Grindelwald was pretty much secluded to his castle, so he went there and murdered him to try and get the Elder Wand.
Sure. At least Jennifer answered my question. That is the character that Johnny Depp is playing.
Hey, I answered it, like, right off.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did. I said, yeah, that is, and then I went and explained who Grindelwald is.
Well, you might have intended to say, yeah, that is, but you just went to say, who is Grindelwald? And then you went into, like, he's basically...
That's implying. Extrapolate some damn data. Jesus.
What? No, that is not confirming the question.
100%.
No, it's not.
God. Also, I agree they shouldn't have used Johnny Depp, but, I mean, they're going to choose whoever the fuck they want because Grindelwald was mentioned, like, a handful of times and mostly at the end of the fucking Harry Potter series.
I mean, they just want to make money, and Johnny Depp brings in money, so...
Yeah, he does.
8.
Back into more television entertainment stuff. Don't worry, we have other news today.
No, we don't. This is going to be a light day. We're going to continue on this train.
Fox revealed today that the X-Files will reopen on January 3rd, 2018.
Nice! This is submitted by Male Nudity to our television.
Some usernames are better than others. So, X-Files had already made a return after a 15-year absence. They came back in January of 2016. It ended up being rather successful, and Fox said, yeah, we'll probably do another season. Well, season 11 will be coming in January of next year.
David Duchovny.
Are you okay?
He can duke my ovni.
I have never watched any of the X-Files.
I used to watch the X-Files a lot when I was a kid with my dad.
Are they good?
Sit down and watch... Huh?
Are they good?
Hell yeah, dude. Fucking Scully is the best female protagonist I've witnessed on television.
What are they about?
It's about two government employees,
Mulder
Fox
and Scully.
Mulder and I forget Scully's first name, but Agent Scully. And Fox Mulder's part of this group in the government where he's trying to go out and find cryptids and other things that are paranormal and supernatural, right?
Oh my fucking god.
And Scully is just like, nope, nothing like that exists. And the first episode is about aliens and everything, and it's really good. It's not like Supernatural. It's fucking great. Yeah, Jennifer explains it pretty well. It's kind of like CSI meets The Twilight Zone.
All right, so what's The Twilight Zone?
The Twilight Zone is like a sci-fi version of Beyond the Veil or The Outer... No, The Outer Limits is more sci-fi than The Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone Actually, The Twilight Zone was less sci-fi than anything.
I'm still not getting anything.
It's like stories, short stories about weird shit that happens. Thank you, Jennifer. Jesus Christ. What's The Twilight Zone? What the hell?
I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I know it's like trademark music. but that's it. I've never watched any of The Twilight Zone either.
Everything hurts. You make my muscles hurt. I don't know how that happens.
Aren't you glad we're friends, Nathan?
I question that a lot. Every time we talk about media that you haven't seen, pretty much I question that.
It's basically all of it.
Yeah.
People mention movies and I'm like, I don't even know if I've heard of that.
Oh, God. Yeah, Joseph has a good explanation. Twilight Zone is like what-if scenarios, but it's like, what if you were the only man on Earth? Or like, what if there was a gremlin on the wing of your plane trying to tear that shit off?
There's something on the wing.
Exactly. That is from the Twilight Zone.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
7.
Rapper Lil Peep has reportedly passed away at the age of 21.
This is submitted by Dallas SF to Our Music.
You actually overloaded your mic, so that was super quiet.
Good.
Do you know who Lil Peep is?
No, I'm not huge into rappers, though. I saw his picture and, like, damn, he's got tattoos all over his face and his neck and everything. I don't think I would ever be able to do something like that. But, you know, if you're famous, go for it.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't even know who this guy is, but he's covered in pink and a bunch of tattoos and apparently overdosed and died.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if his music is good, but, you know, it's really unfortunate. Overdosing is... Oh, there's a picture of him hanging out with Post Malone. That doesn't surprise me, but, like, goddamn. I feel like a lot of people cared about him. And I'm going to say, unfortunately, I didn't really care about him because I didn't know who he is.
I mean,
but, like, it's really awful when people lose something that they really enjoy. Fucking everyone found that out last year.
Yeah. I've literally never even heard his name, but apparently the internet knew who he was, so.
He's got a sick anarchy tattoo on his face.
He's got a lot of pretty damn good tattoos, aside from, like, the ones on his stomach.
Yeah, the ones on his stomach don't look very great. That one on his arm with the mouse, that might be purposely not very great. But, you know, his tattoos look really nice otherwise.
Don't know. Either way.
I'm sorry to the people who enjoyed Lil Peep.
The pinned comment is for YouTube, not for the Google Doc. Yeah.
Way to go.
Hey, okay? Shut up. I don't need your sass.
And Chadwick says he bet it was drugs. It was absolutely drugs. Well, it was an overdose, so yeah, drugs. But, like, we don't know if it was... I don't think we know if it's intended or not.
No, we don't know.
Okay, so yeah, we don't know if it was intended or not.
6.
Iranian weightlifting champion auctions Olympic gold medal to raise money for earthquake victims.
This was submitted by Very Against to Our Uplifting News.
Yep, so this gentleman from Iran, whose name I am going to butcher, which is Kianush Rostami. I think I actually got that pretty close. Anyway, he won the gold medal for weightlifting in the Rio Olympics last year, and he is going to be auctioning that off. In a statement, he said, "I am returning my Rio 2016 Olympics gold medal, which actually belongs to them, to my people. I will put my medal up for auction. All the proceedings will go to those hit by the earthquake."
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, pretty awesome.
Now, I also heard another cool thing that happened. It was like the Miss Universe, I think it was. The Iranian Miss Universe the Iranian running Miss and the Israeli Miss took a selfie together, and it caused at first a lot of backlash, but a lot of people were like, "No, this is great. They're trying to repair bonds between people, even though their governments are not very good at that." I'm like, that's cool. I enjoy shit like that.
Hopefully they get there. I mean, there's a lot of people that are struggling right now everywhere.
Absolutely.
5.
Georgia high school students win $3 million settlement against sheriff.
This is submitted by Libby Liblib to our news.
Libby Lib.
I bet they're fucking liberal.
Oh man. In any case, I had never heard anything about this until this story.
Oh, so I just realized there's a person in our YouTube chat. That's cool. I usually don't click there because there's usually no one there. But the Vicky Online 9.8U says his actions are in line with the actions of ancient Greek Olympians.
Because the ancient Greeks were cool.
Yeah, it's real neat.
It's a shame that Greece is broke in a sad country right now. In any case, I hadn't heard anything about this thing that happened in Georgia until this story got shared.
Yeah, same. I saw it this morning on a fucking BBC.
But apparently what happened is that there was a group of officers that went to a high school in Georgia with very, very slim evidence and conducted very, very... what's the word I'm looking for? Invasive drug tests to the point that they were going through kids' lockers, through their bags, through their clothes, including like checking them, patting every single student down. And some of the students reported that they were sticking their hands in places that their hands should not have been.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. And so the students banded together and sued the sheriff's department. And, well, they won.
God damn it. All of the fucking chat is popping up again. That's great. I'm glad they won this even though it's a settlement. Isn't that like it's kind of winning?
It's still
settling out of court.
It's still a win.
You're getting what you want.
I mean, and it's a judge ordered settlement, so
yeah.
I mean, however you want to look at that. Either way, because the suit also talked about how they touched and manipulated students' breasts and genitals, and including inserting fingers in areas to check for drugs. And after presented with the evidence, the judge was like, "Why were you even there? You didn't have any evidence, and this is a clear violation of the student's rights." So with that, every single student could receive $1,000 to $6,000. There's
$1 to $6,000.
I think that's just a typo. I don't think it's $1 to $6,000. I think it's $1 to $6,000.
I hope so.
I think that is poorly written.
$1 to $6,000 would be fucking hilarious. Can you imagine that kid who gets $1?
I mean, yeah, I can. Because it's probably someone who just had their locker looked at and nothing else.
Yeah.
In any case, that won't be the entirety of the $3 million. Additional funds are going to go to cover the legal expenses, and then
I'm sorry. These chats pop up. Chadwick says Israel and Iraq, not Iran. Thank you. My bad.
The additional funds will cover the legal expenses. Anything remaining after that will go to the high school to benefit the school.
That's cool. Let's see.
Vici in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because that shit popped up for me too. My goddamn internet. Yeah. And it's even plugged in. I'm being throttled by GCI for some fucking reason.
Have you hit your cap?
No, because I just paid it like during my lunch break.
I don't know, man. He said they fought the law and the law lost, and asked, have you ever been searched by a police officer? I have not. I have been.
I have.
Although it wasn't to an extreme level. It was like, hey, turn out your pockets. You got anything else on you? No. Do you mind if I check? No. All right, cool.
I got in trouble in high school for my friend having bombs, so I got searched then. Yeah, it's not fun. It is not fun whatsoever.
I got searched because I was like a 17-year-old dude walking around at 2 o'clock in the morning, and the cop was like, there's curfew, right? And I'm like, yeah.
Fuck a curfew.
And he's like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like,
Smoking pot.
Not wanting to go home. Why not? Everything okay at home? Yeah, I'm just bored.
I'm 17 and I can't sleep.
Like, also the pool hall closed at 1, so now I have nothing to do, and I got tired of walking around Walmart.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Fucking, that reminds me of bro runs when I was 17.
Joe says, man, our chats come up late. Well, one, there's a delay in when we are talking and when it gets to the streams. That's one thing. And I'm not sure how large of a delay it is because it always changes depending on the quality of the actual connection to things. Sometimes it's only like 5 to 10 seconds, and sometimes it's like 30 seconds. And I've tried, I have my settings set to where it should only be at maximum a 10-second delay. That's not always the case. Also, depending on the chat, like YouTube seems to update very, very quick. They have a good live chat service. Facebook, there are some times that it just doesn't load at all until we like reload the page and it's like, look at all this conversation you missed. Ha ha.
Got him. No, yeah, and it's really unfortunate, especially when you're trying to keep track of the conversation and not have to go back and forth between the topics.
Well, congratulations to those high school students. I guess. I mean, congratulations on winning after you were violated. I don't know how to respond to that. Like,
it's really unfortunate that you were violated, but congratulations in your winnings.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
We apologize that it had to happen.
I'll accept that.
4.
Macron. France will cover U.S. share of funding for UN's climate science panel.
This is submitted. Wow, you fucking killed that accent like halfway through that sentence. This is submitted by Unholy Prawn to Our Politics.
Because I can't actually do accents.
I can do a cowboy accent pretty well.
Yeehaw! No, I can't either. Although apparently sometimes my southern accent does come through.
This podcast's only big enough.
Because
one of us.
You're
gonna have to leave town.
You want to host it, Nathan?
No.
I mean, your internet's unreliable enough as it is.
That's fair. Absolutely. And actually, that accent was pretty bad. I need to work on that a bit more.
In any case, the Trump administration stated back in June that it was going to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. Now, we can't actually withdraw until November 4th of 2020, so we will be invested up until that point. But we can begin to pull funding and stuff. Now, this isn't going to be the entirety of the United States funding that France is going to cover. Only the actual science panel is France going to cover. That's about 2 million euros a year. So, I mean, it's a pretty significant investment from France, but it does show that everyone else is going to be willing to step up to cover things that our administration isn't willing to do.
So, Vici Online 9.8U says, do you ever worry that the U.S. will draw ire from the rest of its global allies solely on the basis of its withdrawal from the Paris Accord? He says, I think it's a distinct possibility. I think we're already drawing ire from a lot of our allies,
and not even just from the Paris Agreement.
It's just like another thing that they can draw ire from. It's more just fuel for the fire, but it's not going to be a separate fire of its own. It is part of the giant bonfire that is global politics.
I mean, there's a lot of states and very large cities across America that on their own have put their name on the Paris Agreement. I know, like, all of California has, New York City has, large sections of other states have as well. So, I mean, with that, Tim, yes, Syria has joined the Paris Agreement. We are the only country.
Everybody has joined.
We are the only country in the entire world that is now not part of the Paris Agreement. The three originally were Madagascar, Syria, and ourselves, and those two have now joined, and we are still not on the.
They were like, fuck it, why not? Let's join.
On the list. Now, the thing is that because so much of America on its own between states and large cities is committing to the Paris Agreement, I think that lends a large amount of statement to say that the American people are in agreement with the Paris Agreement, as weird as a redundant of a statement as that sounded. So I don't think that we are going to draw ire specifically from withdrawing from the Paris Agreement, because I think it's pretty clear and evident from the statement of our population that it is the Trump administration that does not want to be part of the Paris Agreement and not the population as a whole. So, but we are going to be, we are going and have been gaining ire for other action statements and things that we have done recently.
Pretty much our entire just fucking presidential wing.
So, I mean,
I mean, yeah, more fuel for the fire.
Yeah, and that's really all it is. I mean, it is good to see that France is willing to step up to fill in the gaps where we are not. Chadwick in the chat room says America's agreement cost us trillions. I've not seen a number that said trillions. I mean, but that said...
I wouldn't mind us being fucking more trillions. We're already trillions in debt. This would be very positive for us in the long run. This is an investment.
Yeah, it cost us money for a very positive, beneficial thing, so I don't see that as being an issue. I have never seen the number of trillions being offered in terms of how much it would have cost the United States to be part of the Paris Agreement. But it is important altogether because it is something that is borderline irreversible if we don't address the issues now, and it's just beneficial to everyone as a whole. It's beneficial to our entire population, it's entire to humanity as a whole. It's beneficial to our future. And the Paris Agreement basically said, get yourself off of fossil fuels, cut down the amount of emissions you're putting out so that we don't overheat the earth and die. And I feel like that's a perfectly fine thing to put funds towards.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what's going to stop that? The fucking coal industry and the goddamn gas industry.
The coal industry is already basically gone. I mean,
there's like coal smears everywhere.
Sure. So, I mean, like, the problem now is petroleum still because of how many gas vehicles we have, and then a little bit of natural gas, but natural gas isn't really as big of an issue. As I've talked about before, it's a pretty clean material, pretty clean gas, but it is still a fossil fuel. It does still put some level of pollutants into the air, and we should get off of it eventually, but it's a good crutch.
Vici Online 9.8U in the YouTube chat says, burgeoning science in the areas of clean energy could be supported more actively by the U.S. government. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true as a whole. We need to be, and people need to have more faith and trust in science rather than just what their politicians believe, because
at the same time, I feel like putting blind faith in science is kind of against what science is about.
Well, and I'm not saying put blind faith in it. I mean, because science is supposed to check and test itself over and over again. That's part of what science does. So you don't put blind faith in a single result. You can put faith in a massive study conducted repeatedly, which is what's been done when it comes to climate change.
Yeah, no, the Paris Accord, this Paris Agreement was a good thing, and we screwed the pooch on it.
I mean, and the other problem is like, if Chadwick is citing a number of $1.3 trillion, and that might be the total cost that was put on the United States across the entirety of the climate agreement. Which
also, Chadwick, that's just considered a single trillion, not trillions. There's no plural there.
Whatever. In any case, which, I mean, it might have added up to that number. That, like I said, that's not a number that I have seen, but that could have been the total cost to the United States across the entirety of the Paris Agreement. And if so, I mean, the tax plan that the administration is putting through is going to cost America more than that. So,
Vici Online 9.8U says Elon Musk may be one of the people to look to for what our future in terms of energy production will look like.
Elon Musk is just real world Tony Stark without the
He's future man,
without the rockets. No, he has rockets, just not military rockets.
No, he just doesn't have rockets on his hands.
Not yet.
Dude, if fucking Elon Musk sat there and built an Iron Man suit, my dick would be so goddamn hard.
You know, Elon Musk should have built one of the giant robots for that fight.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Actually, fucking let's just scratch that and just make that fight better by letting them actually duke it out to death.
I feel like, I don't know. Different topic for a different time. Oh, God.
3.
Apology after Japanese train departs 20 seconds early.
Oh, fuck. This is submitted by Brickateur to R. Not the Onion.
You want to talk about a level of standard that we will never meet?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, a rail company in Japan has apologized after one of its trains departed 20 seconds early. The train was scheduled to leave at 9:44:40, and it left at 9:44:20. They said that this was an issue with the conductor of that train. And they didn't receive any complaints, but they did immediately issue a public apology in regard to the train leaving early. And
did anyone miss it?
Well, I understand the face that you're giving me. Japan has literally the best train system in the world.
Absolutely. I don't doubt that. They're fucking apologizing for leaving 20 seconds early.
The other thing is that Japan is so critically built around this perfect functioning time machine that it's a big deal if something leaves 20 seconds early because, one, this was a train...
No, it's just a big deal if anything leaves early in general.
Or late, even. Because...
Not as much. Like, they're fine leaving late. Except not the trains. Trains need to run on time.
I was like, the trains are on time, always.
Them leaving their jobs, you can be as late as you want. Because
the difference there is that, like, if you're late in Japan, you're in trouble. And it should never be the train's fault.
Vici Online says the Japanese public transportation systems acts as a well-oiled machine. Thousands of laborers and office workers depend on its punctuality. It is a very good model to aspire to.
It's true.
I, for one, am huge in the idea that we should fucking implement as many goddamn train systems as we can throughout all of the United States because we are lacking incredibly in the amount of, like, passenger trains and public trains where people just use them as if they were a bus.
Yeah. Except we do have passenger trains, but they're expensive as fuck.
Yeah, it's not like the Japanese train systems where you can go from one town to the other town.
They cost more than airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I also enjoy that there's people in Japan who their literal job is to stuff people into a train.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fucking there's so many people in Japan. However, I used to think Japan was a lot smaller than it is. I saw a picture comparing Japan to a portion of America, and it's pretty much the size of the East Coast.
Okay, hang on. The difference there is, yes, its entire landmass is technically the size of the East Coast. The majority of Japan's landmass is mountains.
Right.
The actual livable space is really small.
I'm just saying, like, I thought the land's portion, not just the fucking livable area, but the land portion
was
a lot smaller than it is.
Yeah, it's because most map size.
Not only that, but it's sitting right next to the fucking shores of China, and China's giant. It's fucking huge.
I just gotta notice that we dropped frames. Anyway.
2.
FCC plans December vote to kill net neutrality rules.
Oh, really quick. Vici says bullet trains in the United States would cut into profits for oil companies that depend on U.S. automobile driver revenue.
That makes sense.
Damn. I hate how everything is because the oil companies are ruining it.
That makes sense. Anyway, this was submitted by
Chilanu to our technology.
So basically, the comment section is closed. Everything is going through, and according to 2 unnamed sources that asked to be unnamed because they'd get fired, the FCC is going to vote on what happens with net neutrality rules next month.
I hope they release when so that people can sit there and fucking boycott, or not boycott, goddamn, I'm so dead. I forgot the word for protesting. Yeah, so people can sit there and protest. God, I am bleh. But yeah, no, I hope that there's a large turnout for the protest for this because it's absolutely crazy.
I don't know if it'll matter, though. Like, that's the thing is, like, it feels so meaningless. Like, in this case, there have been 22 million comments on the matter, and removing the ones that are bots, it has been found that approximately 90% of them oppose net neutrality. No, are for net neutrality, oppose the removal of the rules that currently went in place for net neutrality. But but it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, even we have this giant surmounting just want for net neutrality, and we are very vocal about it. It is constantly around, and they are clearly ignoring it.
Like, it's pretty upsetting and frustrating of how much it just doesn't matter what anyone says regarding it.
It's complete bullshit.
Like,
we're supposed to be a fucking...
And it's reasons like this that it doesn't surprise me that nothing ever gets done in politics because everyone is too busy undoing what someone else did.
I mean, it's understandable for some things, but things that benefit people, like, that's just fucked up. Like net net neutrality benefits the people,
but not companies.
Vici Online says the FCC needs to control the flow of information on the internet. National security depends on surveillance of the public. I tend to think that every first world country spies on its citizens.
I'm sure they do. It's a matter of trying to keep everyone as safe as possible. And at that point, I don't really have a problem with it, depending on how it's being conducted. But, I mean, this does not help them control the flow of information. This just gives more control to companies to screw consumers.
Absolutely.
And prevent competition.
100%. It's really unfortunate.
Trump administration to reverse ban on elephant trophies from Africa.
Submitted by Lucine Page to Our World News.
Now, the first immediate response people had to this is, you just want to let your son bring his trophies back into America. And, I mean, really, okay, so this isn't about poaching. This isn't about illegal hunting. What this actually is right now in two countries, Zimbabwe and Zambia, if you go there to do legal hunting, you cannot bring trophies of elephants back into the United States. So these are things like their tail, their trunk, and their tusks. Those are the normal things that are used as trophies.
A lot of the time, the tusks, ivory is huge in a lot of places, especially Japan.
Now, this, I'm just my opinion right now. I'd have no problem with this at all, because the majority, so people are like, I can't believe Donald Trump Jr. goes and hunts elephants. That's horrible. And on the surface of a statement like that, yes, it does sound horrible, but there's something very important to be aware of when it comes to these hunters that go and hunt like an elephant in Africa as part of like a vacation or whatever. So the way that those work is that the elephants live on a reservation. They live on a conservation, actually, is the word that I'm looking for, and are protected. These are not just wild elephants that they get to go hunt because they want to. More often than not, almost guaranteed, the elephants that they are hunting are elephants that are no longer considered beneficial to the herd. These are normally like really old males that are no longer producing offspring and are no longer helping protect the herd, so they're a burden to the herd, but they're still a member of the herd, so they're protected all the same, especially by the rest of the herd as well as the people around there, but they are hurting the herd's growth. And so what these people do, they pay an exorbitant amount of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to this conservation for the rights to hunt that elephant. They go, they hunt that elephant, they get their trophy, and then they leave. The money that is paid is supposed to, and here's where the problem comes in, not because of this reversal of the trophy, that money is supposed to go towards the conservation, helping keep the conversation going, help local communities, help keep those elephants safe. They remove that elephant because it's no longer a burden on the herd, and then the meat from the elephant and all of the useful parts of the elephant outside of like the tusks that are used as the trophy are then given to the community, because one elephant will feed some communities for weeks.
Yeah. Sure.
And so, realistically, trophy hunting is not bad. Now, the problem that is not well addressed is there have been problems with proving that the money that is paid to these conservations actually goes to the purpose that they're supposed to be paid for.
In addition to illegal trophies.
Yeah, so
coming from out of the region.
The problem isn't that they're reversing the ban on trophies. Instead, it'd be better to take a look at the corruption that is going on in these conservations.
I feel it's very, maybe not very similar, but it reminds me of Japanese honko.
Went over my head.
The Japanese do not sign their documents.
Okay.
Instead, they have a stamp with their name on it, and it's called a honko.
Okay.
Most honko are made from ivory, because ivory is big in Japan. Everyone loves ivory, right? Well, they keep importing ivory even though it's illegal to, because it's illegal to sell new ivory, but old ivory is perfectly fine. Ones that have been in your ancestral line forever is perfectly fine. Problem is they can't really, it's hard to prove if it's like a familial piece of ivory or if it's a brand new piece.
Sure.
So there's a huge black market where just new ivory just keeps coming in. And I feel like this could lead to a similar thing in America.
Maybe? I don't know, because like in China there's a big demand for like rhino horns and elephant tusks because they believe that they have healing qualities.
Not just healing qualities, but they make you get a boner.
Sure. But I don't know. Like the original purpose behind trophy hunting is, and Tim said there's no reason to hunt these animals. It's not hunting, it's shooting a designated target. And that's fair. I mean, however you want to spin the words, it doesn't matter. I mean, the base purpose of what they're supposed to be doing and what they're supposed to get out of it is pretty clear. It's just a matter of if that happens in the way that it's supposed to happen or not.
I still feel like if you're going to execute the animal, this is a fairly inhumane way of doing it. You don't know the quality of the shot of those individuals.
No, but I mean, the world revolves around money, bro.
I know. It's just I feel like this is something that doesn't need to happen in America.
It doesn't. Well, I mean, it doesn't happen in America. If that makes you feel better.
No, I mean the reversing of ban of elephant trophies. More ivory than their other body parts. Like, I'm just worried that because ivory trophies would be legal in America now, there'll be a huge black market where, you know, you get them from other countries, make them look like they're authentic from these conservation places and send them into America.
Well, I mean, so one, it's not that all trophies are banned. It's only these two countries. If you go and get a trophy from another country, you can bring it back into America.
Vici Online says there are parallels between Schwan Michael's explanation of elephant elders being hunted and human elders being sent to a nursing home. Both provide revenue for the providers of the hunt/nursing. A financial burden on the family can also be detrimental to growth and prosperity. I've heard that some Inuit populations used to send out their elders out into the wild so that they would not be a burden to the rest of the tribe. I see validity in the act. Elephants can't be enrolled into nursing homes no matter how big the doors of the facility are.
Good closing statement on that one. So, and Tim says it's not a trophy. You need to hunt your trophy. It should be difficult. You literally pay a large amount of money. You drive your Land Cruiser out there, and your guide says, shoot that one.
Damn, it's like buying an assload of loot boxes to get Darth Vader.
God damn it, Nathan. That's a terrible analogy. Oh, my God.
Is it, though?
So, I mean, like, I don't know. And, like, what is everyone's opinion on that? I would love to hear it. Obviously, we're going to keep moving on for the sake of time in the show, but in terms of what it's supposed to do and how it's supposed to be done, I don't have a problem with it at all, especially since it's supposed to really benefit people that need it. And it also helps benefit the preservation and protection of the elephants as a whole.
It's supposed to.
Like I said, it's supposed to. But I don't think undoing the ban on trophies is going to prevent that either.
I just feel like there's going to be more harm coming from it when you unban those trophies than the positive of keeping them banned.
Sure. Oh shit! Oh shit! More than half of California pregnancies are unintended.
This was submitted by Chadwick via email.
So, let me open this up. Basically, what it is this is actually talking about something that people are unhappy with, and it's, like, tied to that. So, there is a law that was instituted in California that every single place that provides medical care, which it actually had a specific name for it, essentially, crisis pregnancy centers have to post this particular information. And what it is it says California has public programs that provide immediate, free, or low-cost access to comprehensive family planning services, including all FDA-approved methods of contraception, prenatal care, and abortion for eligible women. To determine whether you qualify, contact the county social services office at insert the telephone number. So that was what actually sparked the interest of that they were forced to basically promote abortion in places that might not agree with it because they were providing a medical service to pregnant women. Now, the article also is talking about that in regards to this, there are approximately 700,000 pregnancies a year in California, and half of those are stated to be unintended.
There's nothing wrong with being unintended. I was unintended. I am a happy mistake, as Bob Ross would put it. However, I feel like this can be partially fixed, maybe not fully, but with more sex ed, essentially.
Sure. More education.
Yeah. Inform these people about the things that could happen, as well as, just informing them about the different options they have if they do happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim says, "Thank you, Nathan Scott Wood." And I said, "Yay."
Because, yeah.
Yeah, because Bob Ross.
I mean, I was unintended as well, so.
Yeah, but you're not a happy mistake. You don't watch movies that everyone should.
Damn! Jesus! Fuck off and die!
Watch those damn movies and then you'll be happy.
Venezuela just defaulted, moving deeper into crisis.
This was submitted by Chadwick via email.
So Venezuela, which we've talked about, the riots and things that have been going on, the coups and all, Venezuela's been on fire for like 6 months, if not longer. I don't actually know the exact time frame anymore because it's felt like a really long time. In any case, they apparently missed a payment on one of their loans, and that's bad because if they continue to miss payments on that loan, then the bondholders that debt is to could demand full and immediate repayment. And the only way that Venezuela would be able to pay those is by turning over barrels of oil that it has offshore in other countries. And if they do that, they don't have anything to sell, which means they don't have any money, which means they have an even larger problem because they already don't have money to buy food because there's no food in the country and they can't get enough in because they don't have the money to buy it, which would mean that they don't have any even less money and they'd have even less food and everyone would get angry and die.
Yeah, there's like a bankruptcy going on. It's like Greece levels, except there's no Germany and South America to bail you out.
Yeah. I don't know what Venezuela's going to do. I don't know how to help them. I don't know. Like they're so far down underwater, under the ground that's underwater. Like, I don't even know what you do at that point.
Yeah,
Chadwick says they
scrap the entire country and do it all over again.
Well, I mean, we have a state that's considering doing that, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. Chadwick says since about 1999 when the socialists took over.
Man, there's all this hate towards socialism. Like, I feel like a lot of the hate for socialism comes from the fact that the Nazis called themselves socialists, and they were not socialists.
I don't know, dude. In any case, though, Illinois actually was in talks last year about no longer being a state because they don't have any money and they don't have enough ways to make money, that they were talking about having to sell themselves off to the surrounding states.
That's crazy, first of all. Second of all, Vici says Venezuela should invest in controlled substance production as a national export. Although such things are illegal in most countries, it could be a boon to their economy.
At least I think it was Illinois. So, yeah, that might happen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that would work. Would we change the flag?
I guess. Like, I really don't know. Like, I don't know if maybe we would drop a state from the stars.
I don't know. I have no idea. I like how that was the thing that I was questioning about. It's like, so would we change the flag or like would we just leave it?
I don't care if a fucking state dissolves. There's a lot of them, and a lot of them are not very memorable.
Yeah. So, in any case, hey Nathan. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. What did you care about this entire fucking week?
Well, actually, I had something different that I cared about today. However, first off, we're going to talk about the Star Wars thing again. Belgium's gambling regulators are investigating Battlefront 2 loot boxes.
Sure.
So that's a thing.
That was submitted 23 hours ago. Why did I have the time in there? That was submitted by Helgast from Helgen to our Star Wars Battlefront.
The media... Okay, hold on. First off, Joseph McLaughlin says, yeah, think of a world in which, since Nathan was a mistake, he was aborted. How poor would the world be for it? I would be so much happier. Don't you fucking bring that happiness into my life. If I was aborted, it would be so great. But no. Anyways, the media is starting to report Disney and EA pushing child gambling with Battlefront 2.
Although, recently, like in the last 5 hours, did you see what happened with Star Wars Battlefront?
No, I hadn't.
So, I'll just read it out.
I mean, because I was at work and then I got immediately here and I didn't have time to actually go into a lot of the articles.
Star Wars Battlefront 2. As we approach the worldwide launch, it is clear that many of you feel there are still challenges in the design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages, and we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was never our intention. Sorry we didn't get this right. We hear you loud and clear, so we are turning off all in-game purchases. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in the game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes to the game. We'll share more details as we work through this. Signed, Oscar Gabrielson, General Manager at DICE.
I love and hate this. A, it's taking away microtransactions, which is fantastic. B, it's ridiculous because at the same time, the only viable way to get some of those goddamn heroes was to purchase them.
Well, they have changed that as well. And
oh, thank God.
It now takes approximately 6 hours to unlock Darth Vader or Luke, which I feel that is an acceptable amount of time.
Absolutely. Sure, 6 hours is not bad. That's like over the span of, 2-3 days, maybe?
Fuck, I can do that in one Saturday, bro.
I mean, I can, but I'm just thinking as an average gamer.
Yeah. So, that they actually fucking listened. They actually listened.
We might be able to change EA, people.
Did you know, by the way, that right now on fucking Metacritic, Star Wars Battlefront 2 has a 0.9 user score rating?
I absolutely believe it.
Ow.
And you know what? This actually gives me hope that more AAA titles will have no microtransactions. Because let's be fair, gamers hate microtransactions. Like, you have taken every single thing that the cheat code and the expansion packs have given us and put them in microtransactions. Sure, an expansion pack is really just a microtransaction, but, it's ridiculous sometimes. A lot of the time, even. Just how much. Sure, cosmetics, I can understand. I can choose not to do that, right? But when your game is hinging on some gameplay, it's ridiculous. Absolutely 100% ridiculous. So I just opened up the YouTube. Vici says, I think that unfair advantages in games make opposing players have to play in new ways to keep up with the gameplay. It can add a new level of difficulty to a game. In terms of Star Wars, a Jedi Knight would have an unfair advantage over a Stormtrooper. A Stormtrooper would have an unfair advantage over a Jawa in combat.
So it's literally just Pokemon type advantage or rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, which, I mean, in reality, Stormtroopers were kind of made to fight Jedi in a way because they were based off of Boba Fett, who was like the Mandalorian. He was the Mandalore, actually. That's it. That was a title, and that was essentially the leader of all of the Mandalorians. And the Mandalorians were known for killing literally anything that crossed. They were a very war-driven tribe, and Jedi happened to cross them a lot.
Two real quick things, by the way. Chadwick says, no, we're just going to have less 3XA titles. One, you do realize that typing AAA and 3XA take the same amount of characters, right? Also, arguably, AAA is less effort since it's all the same key. And you don't have to hit, you just hold the shift button. So, just an observation there. Also, I don't think we're going to have less AAA titles because they're just going to make money. That's what they do. That's why AAA titles exist, because they make lots of money and because people want them, because AAA titles normally have the rights to things that people care about. So,
yeah. And I kind of agree with Chadwick. We don't want to buy wins. We want to buy fun. And I personally feel like iPhone games are I have a very love-hate relationship with iPhone games. Absolutely. Just any app game. Because it feels bad because of the amount of microtransactions. But at the same time, it's so convenient.
I get pleasantly surprised. I sometimes get surprised, underhand surprise the crap out of me. I was so ready to give that game money, and there's no way to do so. It's underhand.
Oh yeah,
it's 100% free, and it's incredible.
I found an app game that I had downloaded and was playing in front of Michael, and Michael saw it and was like, "I want to play it," and I was like, "Sure," and I told him about it. We were ready to spend money on it, and there's zero store. Like, it is 100% a free game, and I absolutely love it.
Like,
I'm really bad at it.
3x. So you'd have to hit. Is it 4 clicks? I'm pretty sure it's 5, because you have to hit the little numbers button. 3. It'll go back to text. X capital A.
Yo, no, 3XA is 4 clicks. AAA is 6 because you have to hit the up key. Oh, on an iPhone. Okay, I thought he was talking about games on an iPhone.
I have
My
an
bad.
iPhone right here. Now I have to friggin' look. Hang on.
No, you just double tap the fucking up and then hit A 3 times.
Yeah. So I mean, in that case, it's 5. But you have to hit the number option. Go to 3. You do actually have to hit it back to get an X, and then you have it's still 6. It'd be less if you double tapped Shift, the up arrow, and then hit A 3 times. It's one less tap.
Vici says, I play to win most games except for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think that I can relate to Chadwick and his statement. If I had to pay a constant amount of money to take first place, I wouldn't play it. Man, you should absolutely. And he says Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is also fun to lose. That's just because Nintendo knows how to make a game that doesn't feel awful when you lose. But damn, you should never ever play a card game.
Chadwick didn't know you could double tap to get full caps. Well,
Yeah.
You learned something today, Chadwick. Welcome to the show.
There you go.
All right, seriously though, we need to get out of here. We're over an hour.
Yeah.
So everybody, thank you very much
Hey,
for.
you didn't even do yours. It was Deadpool 2.
Oh!
His was the trailer for Deadpool 2, which, by the way, IMDb changed the name of Deadpool 2 to Untitled Deadpool Sequel. And I hope that stays the title.
That'd be pretty great, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see the Untitled Deadpool sequel. What?
Yeah.
In any case, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Chadwick. This is the best thing. It's incredible. Oh, God. Anyway.
Now he can all caps rage even more.
Yes! Rage at us! Rage!
Stop.
All right. Anyway, please consider supporting the show. To you listening to us, to people on the live stream, thank you so much for just listening to us. We are so appreciative of that. If you want to go even further, send us money, patreon.com/dailyinternet, or just follow and share us on any form of social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are at iReaditCast on all of those. You can leave us 5-star reviews on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. That helps other people find the show. Lots of ways you can help out. Of course, if you have stories you want us to talk about, subreddit is our iReaditCast, or email is feedback.ireddit@gmail.com. I'm at Schwan Michael on social media. Nathan is at Bimmenstein. That is your...
Oh, fuck.
What?
I told you guys I had one more thing aside from fucking Star Wars. Trump picks a ghost hunter to be a federal judge.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's qualified for a judge. If he is, go for it. Whatever. But he's totally part of the Tuscaloosa Paranormal Research Group.
I mean, everyone can have their hobbies.
No, he does. His is horror, and I absolutely adore that. I love horror. He wrote a book called That Which Should Not Be, and it has Cthulhu on the cover. Like, that's fine. I don't care if you're into paranormal stuff. I would fucking be absolutely for it. I just hope you're a good judge.
Yeah, that's what's important, is that you're a good judge, really. Like, that's all it is. Everybody, we'll be back on Monday because we have not hit the Patreon goals that allow us to do additional episodes a week because, well, that's our spare time. And if we're gonna,
that's my time.
That's my me time.
That's
yeah.
my meat time.
Oh. All right, anyway, we're going to get out of here. That is your 385th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody.
You make me sad.
That's it now. That's it.
Oh. That makes me sad.
Bye.